morning, good morning, good morning. Why isn't it showing? Let me see. I'm just doing some technical stuff here. I'll be getting started in just a few minutes. Okay. Hmm. All right, let's get started. Hello, 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 everyone. My name is Wendy Robinson, and today I'm going to be talking about getting leads on autopilot. I run an agency called Wendy J Creative, where we help entrepreneurs automate their business processes so that they can stay profitable while doing business online. I'm all about the technology. Um, I'm all about the strategy too, because that's important. It's important to have a strategy and a plan before you even choose technology. And that's what I like to teach. It's sort of my mantra, my philosophy, my way of doing things online. Um, you're going to hear me talk about that a lot today, about planning and being purposeful and knowing who you're talking to, et cetera, et cetera. You've heard it all before. I approach it a little bit different though, because I like to work with people who already have a plan, and I teach that if someone comes to me and they don't have a plan, I teach them how to plan before I will build a website for them or a landing page, etc. So that's what I'm all about. And I want to get started. But first, I want to tell you that the best way to watch this is with everything else turned off, right? and all the other tabs closed down. I even had to do that before I came on live because the computer you're using will eat up all your energy from you listening to me if you don't. So shut down those tabs, cut off your phone, and let's get started. All right, so leads on autopilot and crafting your first digital offer. Um, I have a roadmap that I adhere to even me, to after being an online entrepreneur for more than 10 years. There's a way to do it, and I've come up with 5 steps that I always start with. I spent years creating freebie after freebie after freebie, thinking that that's what my audience needed, right? One of these days, one of my freebies is gonna go viral. It's gonna hit just right, and I'm gonna get all the clients and leads I need. Well, it never happened that way until a coach of mine taught me this method that I'm going to teach you today, this roadmap on how to get leads on autopilot every single time. It takes a little bit of work, but it's not that hard if you have these steps in place. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I put together a little bit of a presentation to share with you what those 5 steps are. Then I'm going to show you how I did it and what I used to create my leads on autopilot process. Okay. So now I get leads, 10, 15 leads a day on autopilot. I don't have to do anything until I get the leads. And then I have to nurture them and talk to them and, lead them to where I want them to go. But the beginning parts of that are all automated, and it takes one time to set it up. You can tweak it here and there as things change, as climate changes and environment changes. But for the most part, the processes will be in place, and you don't have to go out and get business all the time. Okay, so let me share my screen. How to get leads on autopilot. It's sounds like it's too good to be true. Autopilot is sort of like set it and forget it. But what it means really is to put a process in place so that you don't have to do certain tasks over and over and over again. Okay? Let me see. We've got chat. Good morning, Denise. Glad to have you here. So it's important to put a plan in place first. But even before that, you got to believe that what you're going to offer your audience is going to work. And you got to believe that you can do it, right? You got to believe it. It's the beginning part of anything. And it sounds woo-woo and it sounds, fairy dust and all that. But it's so important because if you don't believe that what you have to offer, someone else that is either going to give you their email address and or pay you for a particular service or a product, if you don't believe in its ability to give the transformation, give the pleasure, give the fulfill a need for whoever's going to buy, if you don't believe it's going to work, and if you don't believe in yourself, then none of this is going to work. So the first part of this is believe it. Believe in yourself and believe that what you have is going to work. And if you don't, tweak it until you do believe it before you offer it to someone. Okay? The next step is to make sure you have the talent and skill set to deliver, right? So I may believe that I can build a website for someone, but if I don't have the talent or the skill set to do it, I've done it. If I only built one website, right? I watched a tutorial, built a website. I'm I'm probably not ready to build it for someone else yet, right? But if I've done 10 or 15, 20, 100, and I've educated myself and I've practiced and I've written down all the different roadblocks that come with doing that type of work for someone else, over time, I'm going to say, yes, I do have the talent and skills, because each time I do it, I get more confidence, right? So you have to educate yourself. You have to know what you're talking about. And you have to back to number one, you have to believe that you can deliver it. Those are the first two steps with anything you do and you offer for in exchange for time or money. Okay. So make sure you are you have the talent, you have the skills for delivering Facebook ad work by doing Facebook ad work. Or if you are a coach and you can coach someone through a particular process, make sure you've done it either for yourself or for others, and that you are confident that you can walk someone through a process to get them to their transformation. But if you don't have the talent and you don't have the skills, then you can't expect someone else to trust you to do it for them. All right, this goes back to the confidence thing too. All right. The third step is you have to have a vetted offer. What do I mean by a vetted offer? A vetted offer means you are offering a product or service that delivers a particular transformation, result, benefit, right? And you've done it a few times, or you've done it for yourself so many times that you're like, okay, I can share this with someone else and get paid for it because other people want it, right? It's vetted, meaning you've gotten the results for yourself or someone else, and or people are asking for it, right? And we're going to talk about the different types of offers in a minute. If you signed up for this webinar, um, this training, webinar, masterclass, whatever you want to call it, you should have gotten a copy of 7 money making offer ideas, especially if you're a coach or a consultant, that you can put together today to offer. Okay. And I'm going to share with you how the offer will help you get the leads, even though you're not selling the offer right away. Okay. But it's got to be a vetted offer. It's got to work. It's got to be something people are asking for. And I don't mean people everywhere, right? So for my particular service, I offer web design and I offer automation help, and I also offer VIP days, right? If you've read the PDF for the 7 money making offer ideas, you know that there's I think it's offer number 7 is a VIP day, which is different than a regular website project that I would do that would last 6 to 8 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the complexity of the project, right? Well, there's a way to get leads for that VIP day versus a way to get leads for a workshop. There's a different process. So that's why it's important to plan ahead of time by picking your offer first. So it's got to be vetted. First, you have to pick one, right? It has to be vetted. You've used it for yourself or for others, okay? And it's something people want. People in your community, in your audience. All right. The next step is you got to know who it's for. I know you've heard this a million times, and it's probably beating a dead horse that you got to know who you're selling to. And here's why. Because if you are creating something for someone, for instance, I created a VIP day um, experience for my clients who basically they have me for 8 hours in a day, right? So they may want a brand new website, they may want help with a website they already have, or they may just have a list of things they want done in their email service provider or their their CRM. I work with people who have Dubsado and Honeybook, and I help them do certain tasks in those things. Or if they have ConvertKit, I help people set up their ConvertKit. And I'm going to show you ConvertKit a little bit later. But you got to know who the offer is for, where they hang out, what type of work they do, da 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 da. And the reason you need to know all of that is because you need to develop a relationship with them before you sell to them. Okay? So you got to know something about your avatar, your ideal client. And I tell people all the time, if you're brand new and you're just starting to work with people, you may not quite know who that person is. So I challenge you, and I tell my clients this because I get a lot of startups. I challenge you to create a story about who you want that person to be. And many times that person looks like you. You usually attract people like yourself, people who have gone through some of the same kinds of things that you've gone through and are looking for the same transformation that you've been able to create for yourself. Okay, so I tell people start there. Start with your transformation. Start with your persona in trying to define who your avatar is. And over time, that may change depending on what you want to offer, what you want to bring to the entrepreneurial space, and what they need. But a starting point many times starts with you and your persona, or if you want to make up a story, and I have a template for that. I'll leave it in the comments later today. But there's a template that I give people to get them started on a story about their ideal client. Everybody likes to make up stories, right? Stories sell. So if you don't know who you're selling to, you can't sell it effectively. You can't offer anything, whether it's free or paid. You can't offer it effectively if you don't know who you're talking to. All right. And then the very last step that we're going to talk about is how to promote it. Do you have a plan? There are many ways to promote your offers. Again, that could be a free offer or a paid offer or a combination. You could do it manually in social media, right? By posting every day, developing relationships, joining groups, having conversations with people in the DMs. Again, not arbitrarily, but there's a plan to do it. Or you could create a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad, or does LinkedIn have ads? I think they do, but I don't know anything about them. I use Facebook ads and Instagram ads. But there's a way to promote your offer. Again, it depends on where you like to hang out, where your ideal clients like to hang out, whether that's on one social media platform, two, whether that's face-to-face live events, whether that's at your community church. It just depends on what you offer. Good morning, Sherry. Nice to see you. So it's important to have a plan to promote it. How I promote my VIP days might be different than how I promote my ConvertKit services. How a jewelry designer promotes their custom design jewelry may be different than their pieces that are already done, right? So it depends on who it's for, what it is, and how you want to promote it. And it also depends on where you're at in your business. Because some people will say, Facebook ads cost so much money. Facebook ads, you can start off with $5 a day, or you can start off with $20 a day. It depends on your budget. Or you don't have to do Facebook ads. You could do live streams to promote your offers. But again, it takes a plan. Okay? So let me make sure I covered everything. Number one is, do you believe you can do it? Drop my notes. Do you believe it? Do you believe in yourself to do this? Right? Do you have the commitment and the consistency to do it? Two, do you have the talent and skills? Have you kept up with your education? Have you gone through any types of courses or certifications that you need to offer your services? Do you have a talent for creating websites and doing graphic design type stuff, right? 3, do you have a fully vetted offer? That offer has to get the transformation for that person. And so vetted means, is it proven? Did you do it for yourself or did you do it for someone else? And do people want it? Okay. Do they want the transformation? Not necessarily the process. People don't care how you get them there as long as you get them there without too much bloodshed. Okay. People want the transformation. Do you have a plan, or do you have a vetted offer to get them there? Does your offer get them to where they want to be? And then number 4 is, do you know who it's for specifically? Is your offer for grandmothers who raise their grandchildren? Is your offer for someone who owns a childcare facility and wants to open a new one? Is your offer for a mother who is a single mother who has 3 children and she wants to start her own business while working a 9 to 5? She has a lot less flexibility in her time. Does your offer meet her needs for time management? Because she has a 9 to 5 and she probably can only work on your program or your service or whatever it is you're offering in the evening hours during the week and then on the weekends. Okay. So you got to know who it's for. And then the last thing is, do you have a plan to promote it? All right. Are you going to promote it through Facebook ads, paid ads, or are you going to promote it organically with your blood, sweat, and tears? Okay. So it all starts with the offer. And that's why I was so adamant to get you that copy. This is that workbook, that guidebook for 7 money making offer ideas is part of a paid program I have. But I wanted you to have something so that you didn't have to start from scratch. Like, what kind of offer? I don't know. So if you're a coach or you're a consultant or you're a professional service provider, those offers are some of the more common and popular offers today in the online space. I won't go through all of them, but I will talk to you about 2 of my offers and how I get leads to those offers. Okay. So I build websites. This is the Money Making Offer Ideas workbook. If you didn't get it, leave me a comment and I'll get it to you. Okay. If you're watching this on the replay and you did not get it, make sure you comment below this video and I will make sure I send it to you. Don't put your email address unless you're comfortable leaving it in the comments. Just send me a DM either on Facebook, Instagram, or send me an email, and I will get it to you. But I build websites, right? And I also teach other people how to build websites. But my 2 main offers are a VIP day, either a VIP day or a half day, depending on what your needs are. And I do website projects 6 to 8 weeks. Okay. I don't normally offer teaching people unless I'm doing a boot camp or an intensive, which I am going to do one later this summer. Working on developing all that right now. But most of my one-to-one services are VIP days or traditional website projects that take 6 to 8 weeks. But I need to get leads for that, right? And I take people through a process because both these offers require lots of pre-work on my part and on the part of the client. So if I'm doing a website project, a traditional website project, there's a series of workbooks and sessions that I spend with the client to gather information about what they want on their website. The same holds true for a VIP day or a half day. There's information I need before I start doing anything in any of their systems, whether it's a website, their email marketing service, their CRM, whatever the case may be. There's information I need. And so in order for people to work with me, they have to be in a certain place. They have to have this information. And so in order to get people into my funnel, I created a tool to get them there. Whether it's a VIP day or a website project, I created this toolkit, planner toolkit. It used to be called a planner. I changed the name to a toolkit. Toolkit sounds better than a planner. And basically this toolkit walks them through what they want the website for, what their goals are, who their ideal client is. There's a copy of the story template that I talked about earlier for ideal clients. There's spaces for all the information that I need to get into your systems and your automated services. Login information, domain information, all the information I need in order to gain access to help you with your website or build your website. There's space in there to plan out what your different pages are going to be. There's examples in there. And the goal of this freebie is to show people what they need to do before they start building their website, whether they're going to do it themselves or whether they're going to hire me for a VIP day or a traditional website project. So I offered this toolkit free, right, with a Facebook ad, and it's on autopilot, and it generates 10 to 15 leads a day. Now, my ad copy changes. It talks about whether they want to do it themselves or they want to hire a web designer, whether it's me or someone else. This toolkit, once they complete it or at least start to work on it, gives them a framework or a plan to do either one. They can either do it themselves, they have all the information in one place to get started, or they can take this toolkit to a web designer and say, this is my plan, these are my ideas for my website. Okay. And again, it's generating 10 to 15 leads a day for me. But where did I get this toolkit from? How did I put it together? Well, I created my offers first. Okay. I said, I want to offer web design services. I want to offer VIP days. And what do people need in order for me to sell those things to them? Before they start working with me, this is the information I need. So it prepares them, it helps them plan before they build their website. If they just go to some sort of web building service and start, there are templates out there with filler text and stock images, but it really doesn't help you if you don't know what kind of images you want, what kind of web copy you want, or who your website is for. What do you want your website to do once people land on it? If people go to your website, what are you going to say to them on your website to get them to hire you or buy from you? And then what happens afterwards? Okay, that's why I said at the top of this training, it's very important to plan first so that you know the technology you need. If you're going to sell products from your website, there's a certain kind of technology you need. If you're going to sell services that require appointments, that's another kind of technology. Okay, so it's important to plan. So I created this toolkit that generates 10 to 15 leads for me. Well, what happens after that? Well, what happens is they go through my email service provider. So let's take a look at ConvertKit. And I'm going to share my screen. Which screen am I going to share? Hold on. I want to share. I want to share this screen. Okay. Let's see. How does that work? You guys see my screen? This is actually the screen I want to show. Okay. Take a sip of my coffee. So in ConvertKit has this thing called in ConvertKit. I don't want any volume. Hold on, guys. Okay. So in ConvertKit, it has several different things you can do in here. This is not a ConvertKit class, but I want to show you how easy it is to set up a process to generate the lead. So let's say you've created your free, you've decided on your offer, and you've from that offer created a freebie. So my offer is web design or VIP days. My website toolkit is my freebie. So I decided on my offer first, then I created my freebie, because now my freebie will lead to my offer. Okay. You may want to do, I don't know, your offer may be a workshop, right? 2-hour workshop. And in that workshop, you may create let's say you teach 3 things in the workshop. All right. You may take the first thing that you want to teach in that workshop and create a freebie for that first step, and offer that freebie as an incentive for people to purchase the workshop to get the other 3, to get more in depth on step 1. So you only take a piece of step 1, don't give them everything. And then if they pay for the workshop and they come to your workshop, they'll get the rest. Okay. That's a very simplistic way to look at it, but that's basically what you do. You don't start with a freebie and then try to sell them something. All right. So here in ConvertKit, you can set up an automated process that will have them sign up for the freebie, deliver the freebie, send them 3 to 4 emails after they get the freebie that lead them to your offer. Okay? And then once they purchase your offer, there may be something after that. This class is not about that, but I'm going to show you how I set up my automation for my freebie and for my offer so that people walk through it and it's set up one time. So the first thing you want to do in ConvertKit is you go to the Automate tab and you want to start on visual automations, right? ConvertKit has several automations that are already set up for you. You just have to fill in the blanks, but we're going to start from scratch. Okay. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to create a form or landing page for your freebie, right? You've created your PDF or your free workshop video or whatever it is you're going to offer for your freebie. And you want people to sign up for it. You want people to opt in for it. And this is where you come first. All right. We're going to name this visual automation new website. No, we're going to call this new website freebie. No. New website automation. All right. That's what we're going to call it. I don't know. I'm just picking something. And we want to, in ConvertKit, you can create a form, which is something that you can embed in a custom web page somewhere on your website, or you could build an actual landing page. Now, even though it says join a form here, once you click that, you can either use one you've already created or create a new one. Oops. Right here, it says create a new form or landing page, right? So these are several landing pages I already have, but we're going to create it from new. So if you click this, another window is going to open up and you're going to be able to choose a form or a landing page. Well, for purposes of this class, we're going to choose landing page because ConvertKit has several templates that you can choose right off the bat that are pre-formatted, and you just have to complete your information, right? So we're going to pick one that's very simple. Let's just choose this one. Click choose, and then it opens up so that you can customize it. Click on this text, and we're going to call this website toolkit. Here we're going to fill out whatever we want to say here, you know, something about the toolkit, some more about the toolkit, some more about the toolkit. You can change all this text, right? You can format the text to whatever you want it to be. And then you'll also see anytime you click on the text area, except for the heading, you'll see this little plus sign. If you open that up, you can insert different things. You can format, you can add an image, you can do certain things to customize this area. I wouldn't go too crazy with this area, but there are options here for you to format it. Put in whatever text you want, whatever other elements you want, and then this area is a place for them to put their email address. If you want to have their first name as part of this opt-in, just click this plus button. And over on the right, the pane changes so that you can customize this new field, and we want first name. Okay. And then if you want first name to be the first thing they fill out, you just click and drag over here on the left. Click and drag that up so that first name appears first, email address appears second. You can also make this field required. Over here, if you click in first name, that's the active field that you're editing. Over here on the right, click that box so that's required. And I believe email address is always required. Okay, you can change the color of this button. Let's change this to one of my signature colors. And you don't have to say subscribed. You can say download now. You can say whatever you want, but subscribe to me is played out. Change it to something else, something that gets people excited. Okay. Some of this stuff here is defaulted. You don't have to keep it if you don't want. You can also change the picture. If you click on this background, or if you click on general styles, you'll notice down here that this is the background picture here. Okay, if you want to change it, just click on this X or click on the cloud here, and another window opens up where you can choose a file to change the image to. I'm going to change it to that image. And the transparency of the image can also be changed, the overlay. All right, you can make it brighter or darker. It's up to you. Let's see, what else can you change? You can also change the name of this form. So right now, the name of this form says Archer Landing Page, which is the default template name. So you can change this to Web Toolkit or whatever it is you want to do. And then that's pretty much it for what I'm going to show you here. Now, how do you get them the freebie? Once people come to this page, put in their first name, email address, and click download now, what happens next? Right? So what happens next is you go up here to settings, incentive, and here are two choices here. You can send them to a URL, which could be a page on your website. If the freebie is a video, maybe it is a link to a video. If it is a downloadable item, you don't have to send them to somewhere else to download it. You can click this button here, download, and then choose the file that they will get once they click the download now button. So if you click this button, and opens up to your computer. So I'm going to go ahead and find my toolkit. And that's it right there. I'm going to upload that. Okay, so now when people hit that download now button, they automatically will get the toolkit and they can save it to their computer, right? But you also want to click on this. They'll also get an email. In this email, you can say something like, confirm your, or you can change this to say your, oops, your toolkit is on its way. Right? So I want to correct something I said. When they click download now, they won't get the toolkit right away, because this is a email system and they have to confirm that they want it. And this email is their confirmation. So in the subject line of this incentive email, which is the first email they will get after they sign up, your toolkit is on its way. And you can say, thanks for signing up. Click the button below to download your toolkit. You can change this button to say download now. You can change the color. All right. You can say whatever you want to say here. And boom, save it. And that's the email they will get. Okay. So once again, they won't get it when they click this button. When they click this button, if you go back up to settings, what they will see is this message on the screen. Success. Now check your email to confirm your request. We're going to change this to request. So the first thing you want to change is this message. If you want the message to change, you don't have to, but I like to change it. And then once they see that message on the screen, this message is go check your email. Then go down here. What you're going to do is then go down to incentive, change the email that they get, say what you want to say in the email. And then when they click this button, download now, that's when they'll get their PDF. In order to get their PDF, you have to upload your toolkit by clicking on download and uploading the file here, and then click save. So 3 steps. Change your message on the screen that they get once they hit the button after they put their email name and email in. Change the email, that the first email that they'll get, to say what you want it to say, right? Take that out since my name is there. And then upload the file that they'll get once they click the button in the email. Click save. All right. So you've created your opt-in form. You've set up the delivery of that document, or you've set up the email first that they'll get, and then the document that they'll be able to download. So that's automated, right? Click save, and it takes you back to the automation. So there's some more steps here, right? Because that's just the freebie. So now what you want to do is you want to set up a series of emails that will go out after they've downloaded the toolkit. So you click this little plus button, make sure it's on action, and then click email sequence, right? You may already have an email sequence set up, but if you're just starting out, you're going to create one. So you scroll all the way down to the bottom. Wait a minute, where do I do that? Search or create a sequence. Oh, okay. So what you want to do is you want to start typing new web. And then once you start typing, the create new sequence called whatever it is you type in here, new web sequence, and then click on this blue button. So you name it, put the name in this box of whatever you want your email sequence. Now remember, this is the sequence of emails that's going to go out over a few days after they've received their freebie. And in this sequence, you are going to lead them through a series of emails talking about yourself, talking about, some of the things that will help them in filling out the toolkit or whatever your freebie is. And then in maybe the third or fourth email, you're going to offer I'm going to offer my web design service, my web project service, or my VIP days. And so you name the sequence here and then click on this blue button here. All right. And then add action. So now we have to create the sequence. Now we've created the shell of the sequence. Let's actually go and show you what happens when you click this right here. It's going to open up another window where you can create emails that will start to go out to your audience. So your opt-in page, your landing page is set up. Your incentive email confirmation is set up. Your delivery of your freebie is set up, automated, right? Now let's set up the emails that you need to lead these folks to your offer. And you can add as many emails as you want. We're going to add 4. The first email could be an email about get to know me, right? Get to know me. Now remember, the first email has already gone out. The first email is the email that, and I only wrote a few things in that email. You can write more in that very first incentive email. But in this second email, you want to remind them who you are, give them a little more information about you. You want to date them, right? Give them more information and then give them a tip about how to fill out Get to Know Me and tips on the freebie you downloaded. How to use it, right? What's the best way to do it? And then you ask them for some feedback, right? Or what are you struggling with? So maybe they'll hit reply and you can start a conversation with them, right? So that's the first email. Now, in order for this email to go out, because right now it's in draft form, you want to turn it to active and you want it to go out one day after the last email. Actually, we're going to go 0 and it's going to go out. Actually, let's do 3 hours after the previous email. And the previous email obviously is the incentive email, right? So 3 hours after they get, or you could do 1 day, right? So it'll go out the next day or in 2 days. It's up to you. Really, the timing here is critical to your situation, not mine. So I'm going to say 1 day. They'll get this first email and it's active, right? So they'll get that email and then the next email might be something about another tip or a resource to help them get ready for your offer. Now, that might sound strange, right? Well, Wendy, I haven't offered it to them yet. But you know what you need them to have or what frame of mind or what resources they need to have before they start working with you. So what I like to do is I like to tell people about stock image sites, stock image websites where they can download images that they may want to use in their website project, right? Or if they are struggling with setting up their email service provider, I send people to a resource called Drip Scripts. It's a tongue twister. And Drip Scripts is a website that will help people come up with email sequences depending on what they're emailing about, whether it's a workshop, whether it's a nurture sequence, which is a welcome sequence like we are building right now, or it could be some other launch you're having. Drip Scripts is a great website to get ideas and to get actual templates for emails you need to put in your email sequence. Okay. So I give people resources to get them ready for their project, whatever the case may be. Bottom line is, all of these tips I'm giving them are related to what they need to plan and put together if they're going to do business online. Okay. Whether it's their website, email service, sequences, um, their CRM, whatever the case may be. All right. And so that's email number 2. I'm going to put it to active. And I want this to go 2 days after this previous email. Right. So now I have 2 emails in my sequences. The first one is an introduction and a reminder of what they downloaded and how to use it. The second one is, hold on. Yes, thank you. The second one is an email about resources they can use to get ready for the offer that I'm going to probably offer them at the end of this sequence. Okay, so I'm seeding them, I'm giving them resources to help them. The third email could be, I don't know, third email can actually mention the offer and maybe an incentive to get it at a discount for a limited time. Explain why the offer will benefit them, and I don't know, assure them you are here for their questions. Okay, those are some of the things you can talk about in the third email. The last email is going to be the offer, right? Everything that you want to talk about in the offer. And I want this to go out 2 days after the last one. So the first one's going to go out 1 day after they enter this automation and get that first incentive email from the freebie. The next one's going to go out 2 days after that, and it's going to give them some more resources. The third one is going to go out a day after the previous one, and it's going to give them mention the offer and why it's, why it will benefit them. Maybe give them a discount. You don't have to. That's one of the things I like to do. And then assure them that you're there for the questions. I actually also have a frequently asked question page on my website. And so I will also include that so that if they have some common questions that they want answers to, they can click that link and go to my website and read those frequently asked questions. Okay. And then the last email is the offer. Whatever language you're going to use in here to offer them the service or product that you are trying to sell. Okay. So now you have your freebie done. Your freebie is opt-in page is set up. Your incentive, the first email welcoming them to your community and telling them that their freebie is on the way. Once they click that button, the freebie will download. Then 1 day later, they're going to get an email to get to know you and the series of 4 emails. You can actually add more if you need to, again, depending on your what you're offering. But now your funnel is set up to deliver the freebie and put them into your funnel, your sequence, your system to lead them to your offer. Okay. Once you have all of your emails written to the way you want them, Make sure all of them are active, and then make sure you save it. And one last step, I'm going to go back into it, is it will not run unless this button up here on the right is clicked to live. When you click it, it's going to confirm that you want to turn this automation on, and then you click turn it on to run it. I'm not going to do that right now because this is just a test. Okay, but make sure that button is clicked live and that you confirm that you want it to run. All right, so once that's done, the last step is to actually set up the selling of your offer, right? So there are a multitude of shopping carts and ways to sell people something and collect payments, but right here in ConvertKit, you have a tool called Earn. This button here has, and I want to emphasize that this is a paid ConvertKit account. So if you have the free one, you don't have access to some of the automation choices here. So if you're ready to do this, I suggest you go ahead and pay for ConvertKit because it's worth the money. You don't need any other, you don't even need a website really if you're using ConvertKit, if you're just especially if you're just starting out. Okay, you can use your landing page to drive traffic to, what you're offering, and then ConvertKit does the rest. So now the last part of this is creating the offer. So here is the screen that comes up once you hit Earn in Products. Here are the product details. We're going to call this half VIP day. I'll think of a more sexy title later, but this is the half VIP day. And then the pricing method here is depending on what you want to offer, whether they pay a one-time fee, whether they choose the price, whether it's a subscription or a payment plan. All right, this is going to be a one-time fee, and the fee is $17.50. Okay. And then after you put in the price, you click next. And how do you fulfill this? Is it a physical product, right? So something else, or whether it's a digital, I'm getting tongue-tied this morning, whether it's a digital product or it's a newsletter, or, here's a product file that you can, if it's a digital download, you can actually upload the file here. So once they pay you, they can download it, whether it's a series of videos or PDFs or whatever the case may be. If it's something else, then you just click something else, and this is something else, and then you click next. Next thing you want to do is make sure that you can actually change the custom domain if you have it set up here. And I have a domain set up here called Learn with Wendy. And then basically you can change the name of the back half of the URL. So the URL for people to purchase this would be learnwithwendy.com/products/ right now it's taking the title and calling it half VIP day, which is fine. I'm good with that. Or you don't even have to do that. If you don't have a custom domain set up with ConvertKit, you can just use the one that they set up for you, which is usually determined when you actually sign up for ConvertKit. And then it will put the name of your company in front .ck.page, okay, /half VIP day. Okay, so either or, it's really up to you. It really doesn't matter because 9 times out of 10, people are not going to actually type in this entire URL. So you're going to provide a link. So it really doesn't matter. But I like to use Learn with Wendy so I can track metrics. Okay, and then you click Create Product. Now what's going to happen is the screen's going to open up and it's going to allow you to customize the checkout page, the product page, the checkout page, the confirmation, and the receipt email. All right. So we're just going to pick an image here. I clicked in this box here and I'm going to click replace. And I think I have a VIP day. No, I'm going to upload it. And let's see, where is that file? Let me see. Let me pick an image. I'm just gonna pick one image. I'm just gonna pick this for now. Go. Let's choose that one. So we'll choose that one. And so this is the image. You can change the title here if you want. It shows the price. You can change the text here. You can add text in if you need to. I'm just going to leave it as is. You can change the call to action on the button. You can change the color. If you go over here to the right, again, we're going to put in one of my signature colors. And once people click on this, they will be led to a checkout page. So this is fine as it is right now. Then over here in the top left, you're going to click on checkout. This is what the checkout page will look like. They can put in their email and their credit card information to purchase. That you don't really need to change much here. Then on the confirmation is an actual confirmation screen. You can change the text here. We're going to change this to my signature color. All right. It gives them a summary of what they just purchased. And then the email that they get, you can also change this email, right? So change what it says here. Talk soon, Wendy, whatever you want to say here. Okay. So what happens, what I will add here is basically a link to schedule their VIP day. There'll be, whatever the link is. I'll put here, link to schedule VIP day goes here. I'm not going to do it during this training, but I'll paste the link to my calendar. So when they get this email, they can then go in and pick a day and time once they've paid to schedule their VIP day. And then just click save. So now when people get that last email, right? So let me go over here to the sequence. So when they get that last email, this one here, which is the offer, right? Let me actually copy this and go over to this visual. This is, this is the text that you put in. Of course, you'll put much more text in there and then paste the link for them to take advantage of the offer. I'm going to save that. Now, when people get that email, that very last email, goodness gracious, I don't know what I clicked on there. Sorry, guys. So when they get that very last email, I don't know what happened there. Let me try to get back to where I was. Goodness gracious. Okay. Fire me. So anyway, when I get back to that last email, let me get back to the automations. I want to make sure I drive this point home. Okay, so here's the automation that I was in. When they get to that last email, you want to make sure that you test this link and make sure when they click on it, right? And here's how you edit that. Let me go back. So if you paste the link to the product page here, right, you can edit the link so that it does a few things. So you want to make sure it opens up in a new tab. So if you click the link and click edit, you want to make sure it opens up in a new tag. But you also, if they click the link, you can also tag them with a tag. And in ConvertKit, I'm not going to get into all of the things that are involved in a tag, but it basically singles out a particular subscriber with a tag that tells you what their interest or what their behavior was. So if someone clicks on this, I'm going to tag them with interested in VIP day, so that I could potentially, anyone that clicks on that link, even though they don't buy, if they at least click on it, I can tag them, and later on, I know how to spell interested, I promise you. I can tag them and send them specific emails to just that group of people that are interested in VIP days. So I know that if I have 10 people that have clicked on that link, that tag will be on those 10 people's file inside of ConvertKit. And I can create an email or a set of emails to go specifically to that group of people to further incentivize them either now or in the future to purchase, or to purchase a VIP day, or maybe perhaps be included in some sort of promotion or whatever the case may be, right? And then just click edit. And now when people click on that tag, it will make sure it will open up in a new window, and that will be tagged with this particular tag. All right. So that's the other thing I wanted to tell you. All right. So now we've completed the setup of our landing page to deliver the freebie. We've completed the sequence to deliver the emails. The next thing we want to do is we want to create an event when someone purchases, because if someone purchases the offer, we don't want to continue to send them emails, right? So we want to tag them with an additional tag if they purchased. So let's say I run a promotion a month from now, and they happen to somehow, get into some other sequence, something else I'm offering. If they've already purchased a VIP day, I don't want to send them emails offering a VIP day or something else related to VIP days, because they've already purchased. And so I want to tag them with a tag showing me that they purchased. So I'm going to add an event to this sequence so that anyone that goes through this sequence and finishes it, if they've purchased, I can click on product purchased, right? And then here in integrations, all integrations, and then select the product that I just created, half VIP day. All right, and add the event. So that will tag the person with a tag, or with the notation that they've purchased the VIP day, so that I don't have to, so I can exclude them from any promotions in the future. And then that's the end of the automation, right? So I've once again created the freebie sign up. I've created the sequence to lead them to my offer, and hopefully they purchase. And if they do purchase, the system will tag them with that offer. Okay. And that's it. That's how I get 10 to 15 leads a day. I started off with my offer, right? Let me stop sharing my screen. Oop. So I So I determined my offer. I created my freebie from my offer, or I created a freebie that supports my offer. And then I set up my freebie, my email sequences to lead them to my offer, and I set up my offer, all within ConvertKit. There's nothing in here where I sent them to a website or how to. So this is perfect for people who are just starting out and don't have a website. Use ConvertKit. Use my 7 money making offer ideas to develop your offer. Create a freebie from that offer. and set up your freebie and your offer inside the ConvertKit and automate it. Now, the last part of this is, how do you promote it? So, this isn't going to be a class about marketing, but I will tell you 2 ways that you can promote your offer. You can set up social media posts, schedule them through various tools like Planoly or um, what's the other one? I forget the name of the other one. That will automatically post to Instagram and Facebook. I think Instagram. Planoly is just Instagram. You can schedule them in Facebook. All right. No money involved. Just schedule, create the image, create the caption for the image in Facebook, and schedule it, especially if you have a business page. You don't have to do it manually. You can set up a series of posts to post to Facebook promoting your offer 2 or 3 times a week. Okay. Every day when you're first starting out, because as we all know, when you post to Facebook, your post may be top of feed for the first day, maybe first couple of hours, and then it gets pushed down and pushed down and pushed down so that no one sees it anymore. So it's important to post several times a day, different posts, not the same post, or several times a week, whatever your schedule allows. The more consistent you are with that, the better. Or you can create a Facebook ad to promote your freebie like I do. I have a Facebook ad that I created for my website toolkit. I spend $5 to $10 a day, and that 5 to 10, and I've pushed it up to 15 a few times when I haven't gotten my 10 to 15 leads a day. Um, if your budget allows, if not, stay with the $5, especially when you're testing an ad and seeing if it converts. Um, and I'll probably do a class on Facebook ads sometime in the future soon. But create a Facebook ad to promote your freebie. Okay. And eventually, once you tweak it and change it and it starts to work, it will generate those leads for you. And if you have everything I showed you today set up, you don't have to actively market your freebie and your medium to low or even your high end offer. High end offers usually, once they get to be, once your offers are more than like $1,000, $1,500, you actually may need a little bit more nurturing to close those sales. It just depends. Once you get used to it and create a sequence and create an automation that works and says the right things, you won't need to nurture them. But sometimes when you're first starting out, it's great to have those conversations in the DMs, nurture, give people value, um, create lots of content to help them get to where you need them to be. They need the offer that you have, right? Because you've vetted your offer. Remember, we talked about vetting your offer. You are confident, right, that you can get those results because you believe in yourself and you have the talent and skills and you've kept up your education on whatever expertise you have, right? So you're confident and you know that your process works because you've done it for yourself or you've done it for others. Then that part is the first part in getting your offer in front of people. All right. Once you've created something to lead them to your offer, whether it's a free class, a free PDF, whatever the free workshop, whatever the case may be. But it all starts with those first 5 steps. Believe in yourself, right? Make sure you have the talent and skills. Make sure you have a vetted offer. Make sure you know who the offer is for and create a plan to promote it. If you do all those things and then set up the sequence I just showed you in ConvertKit or whatever your email service provider is, a lot of them do the same things, then you can get 10 to 15 leads or more per day. Okay, so you don't have to manually and struggle to get leads in your business. All right, so who has questions? Any questions? That's all I have for today. I am about to go and start my July 4th weekend. Um, not going to do too much because husband and I have been running since May, so we really want to chill. But going shopping for a little barbecue food. If you're watching this on the replay, that means you were interested in this, and I thank you so very much. But leave a comment below, a question below, if you want me to answer it, and I will get a notification that you asked me a question, and I'll be back on later this weekend to answer it for you. But I hope this was valuable. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you get to work. All right, create an offer, then create your freebie. Don't create your freebie and then an offer. Do the offer first. And then use this video, watch this video to get all the steps you need to set up your sequences in ConvertKit or some other email service provider, and you'll be on your way to getting those leads. All right. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, Denise. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Bye.